Hi, this is Chris Schaumburg, and we have a 7-segment display that we're going to go ahead and build real quick here. So here we have our switches. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 switches here. And this bottom switch right here should correspond to this one. This corresponds to this right here, and so on and so forth. And these correspond to these different points right here. Okay, and then we have resistors in here. The resistive elements help the 7-segment display light up. So here's what we're going to do. So that the current doesn't burn out. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go from power to ground. Now normally if you were actually building this circuit, you would do this last. This is the last thing you would do because you wouldn't want your power and ground pins to be plugged in until you're really ready to demonstrate. But we have a simulation starter here that does that for us. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go from our communications in, and I'm going to go to that pin which powers up the LED display. Then I'm going to go from communications down to the positive here. Now I'm going to go all the way up here from positive to positive. And the reason I'm doing this is just so that I don't have to play around with the power pin too much on this bottom side, so I don't have to go all the way back to power. I'm just going to this power rail and then going all the way back up. So I'm putting power to this side and power to this side, and that should power up my LED display. And I'm just going to do the very first part of this, and then I'll let the rest of it be something that you can do and work on independently. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go from our first segment right here, the G pin right here. We're going to go from D1, and we're going to go to our resistor element right here. And we're going to color that one. Let's go ahead and color it green. Then we're going to go from our green element here, we're going to go all the way down to this point, and then we're going to go down to here. And I'm going to color this end of it black and this end of it green. Okay, and let's go ahead and start the simulation. You see that it's turned on. We switch the switch, we turn it off. Okay. The next one, I'm going to go from this pin right here, the F pin on our 7-segment display, to our second resistor right here. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go from that second resistor, I'm going to go all the way up to this switch right here. And that switch I'm going to go down to ground here. And I'm going to start with a black pin right there. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to label that one blue. So our second one is going to be blue. Right, we're going to set start. We can see that we have both a switch here and we have a switch here. So we have those two switches. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to stop the simulation. We're going to go to our third one. Okay, and it's not going to be actually right there because that's the power in. The third one is right here. And we're going to go from that point to the third resistor. I'm going to color this one, this case, orange. Then I'm going to go from my third resistor, I'm going to go to my third segment display, or switch. And I'm going to color the ground pin ground. Now this is going to be orange color, so now we can see that we have wires that go in. Now if we switch this on, oh, we did the wrong one. Okay, so let's stop that. Okay, now we're going to go from our next segment, we're going to go to the orange pin, which is right here. We're going to label this orange. Okay, so we're going from this point right here, which is our A pin, which is the top pin. It's going to be the top one. So we're going to go from our third point. We're going to go all the way up to our top pin right here. I'm going to put it in the first part of the switch. And I'm going to take the switch down to ground. And I'm going to label that black. Okay. If we start the simulation, Now we have the top one, we have the side one, and we have the front one. So now they're all off. We can stop the simulation. Okay, we're going to go from the last pin right here. Okay, and we're going to go from there to the fourth resistor. And then I'm going to go from the fourth resistor to right here. Notice it has a ground pin in it too. Okay. And I'm going to label that one, in this case, I'm going to label it purple. I'm going to label my one up here purple. And I didn't label that last one orange, so I need to label that one orange. Okay. As you can see, we have a blue, we have an orange, we have a purple, and we have a green. We're going to start it, and we have our switches that can turn on and off. So here we're switching them all on. Alright, so we've gotten the first part of the 7-segment display on, and we can have a 0 in this case. We can indicate a digit in this case. This is not actually a letter or a number right now, but what we could do is if we get the bottom ones, which is basically the same as the top, and I'm going to let you work on that and get that working. It's pretty much the same as the top that we've done here. It's pretty much the same type of wiring that we're going to do. You're just going to go from these bottom pins here, and you can